Hello, everybody. I thought I would just come on and hang out for a little bit. It has been a long time since I have been on YouTube, and an even longer time since I've been on YouTube without makeup. I got a new mascara that is like what it's clearly not waterproof, and so there's just been like smudges around my face all day long. Um, oh, cool. So yeah, how's everybody going? Let me know that you're here. Unless you're here, basically I'm here to uh, chat. If you have questions, if you want to talk, if you want to vent, come on, let's do it. I'm here to listen. I know people are angry. I know there's a lot going on. And so I'm just trying to be available to people. Hey Nana, how's it going? You know what, actually I'm going to send this link out just in case. I don't think my friends are in the mood to be public facing today, but in the event they are, hey gamer, in the event that they are, I'm going to go ahead and invite them in. So yeah, I just figured I was live on Instagram earlier today. There's just a lot going on in the Instagram anti-MLM. Hey Melanie, so I don't know what you've been watching or seeing. Yikes, sorry, my TikTok opened up. Things have just been, it's like when we thought that I was kind of at a point with a lot of the anti-MLM kind of infighting. I thought it was going to be done. I thought it was like over and past, and it's not. And it's like really, it's really frustrating. There's a lot been going on basically over on Instagram. It's really been heavy there. And a lot of people are blocked on Instagram. I tried to unblock I tried to unblock a lot of people today. I really want to open up the lines of communication. I think that's really where we need to start. And I figured here is a little bit more vulnerable because a lot of people can, get in the comments here. So I don't really have much planned in terms of content tonight, but I definitely. Let me actually do this. I'm multitasking, which is a terrible thing to do when you are on, when you're live. But if you would just be patient with me for 1 second so that I can find this dang caption. There we go. Is it not going to let me copy this? Oh, come on. There we go. I have a large cup of black tea with cream. Oh, that sounds delicious. I need to, I do want to talk about, I do actually have something I would like to talk about. I take all of that back. Can I really not? Okay, there we go. Select all. Copy. Yes, my husband just asked if everything's good. Yes, why? Yeah, so let me do this. Oh, wow. I did not think that would have that much of a, she's being a handful. Oh, my daughter's being a handful. Go, shocker. Okay, so I wanted to talk. Okay, let me, oh my God, I can't focus. My video's visibility settings. Oh, right, this was set to only me. All right, I swear I'm getting to what I decided to talk about. Hey, Buttercup. I wanted to tag people in this. I just can't. Okay. Who did I want to tag? Joey. MLM tea time. There we go. All right. Sometimes I tag Hattie Rowe in things, hoping that maybe she'll be like, oh, you're funny. Even though I'm not nearly as cool as her because she's super British and her accent is so cool. Okay. So, you know what's really hard about being live on YouTube right now? And this is not me in any way trying to get compliments. Like, please do not. Um, uh, oh my God. Okay. So looking at my face right now, it's been a while. Um, I've put on probably in the last year 30 to 40 pounds. I've put on a lot of weight. And I had a session with my therapist today. And one of the big things I was talking about with her, sorry, I ran out of my allergy medication. Hold on. And it's like one day without my allergy medication, and all of a sudden I'm like, huh. So I was talking to her about how I had a revelation in class the other day that I have control issues. Shocker. I told my friends, and they were like, "What? No." Right, I know. Kind, unintelligible words. Sorry. So yeah, shocker that I have control issues. So, hey girl. So I um we were talking about all the things that I can't control, the things that I've experienced in the last year. This time last year, my husband was getting ready to have. Some of you have been around for a while. You might remember my husband was getting ready to have Achilles surgery on his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles. And so when that happened, my life kind of got flipped upside down. I was suddenly taking care of 3 children, not to say my husband was being a child, but like he literally could not do a lot of things for himself. He was crawling around the house to get from one place to another. It was kind of terrible. He couldn't drive, so I had to drive everywhere. And it was really rough on all of us. Then the FTC comment thing was happening, and then the smear campaign and all the drama. And I realized that the one thing I could control in all of that, and I realized this week, was my eating. I ate to comfort me, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not sitting here saying that as like, and not to be like a negative thing. There's a lot of other things in my life that I try to have control over, and I just don't. I can't always have control. So me and my therapist are working on, all right, what can you release control of? What can you try to not control? And I'm starting with this stuff that's going on within the anti-mom community. I have spent a lot of time today realizing that I can't control what's going to happen next. I can't control how people are going to respond to me. I can't control if there are people who watch videos of me like I am right now and say, you can tell Mallory has anger issues. I can't control that. I can't control if people are going to have a crazy narrative about me. I can't control that there is feasibly no end in sight for this. There's no end in sight. I posted, I put out a reel tonight using Mean Girls audio. But in the caption, I said in the caption, ladies, we don't have a governing body. There's nobody overseeing us. There's nobody that's going to come in and be like, all right, enough. Like the FTC is not going to swoop in here and be like, you all need to stop. Nothing's going to happen. And so that was kind of my point in the caption, was that like we have to stop. Yeah, Melanie, it's just it's kind of gotten to a really, really difficult point. A lot of the times the way we were handling it was to just ignore it. A little responsive because I think someone else lied and didn't admit it. It's okay for me to not admit that I lied. Yeah, that's a really good point. And what's become really frustrating this time, Melanie, is that there are people who, I have taken a lot of time over the last year in therapy with my group of friends that I've made through this community, with my real life friends, with my husband, with my mom. I have done a lot of reflecting and learning. Um, I've also done a lot of soul searching. I've also done a lot of analyzing how my ADHD manifests. One of the things I know about myself is that I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told that I shouldn't do something on my platform because in my mind, I want to be able to do whatever the hell I want, right? Um, and so when we were in the fever dream of anti-MLM content at the beginning of this, last year, I was just balls to the wall, right? So over the past year, I have looked at, okay, what behaviors, what parts of me could have been hard to swallow, hard to consume. I know there's parts of me because I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And it's hard to look at yourself and acknowledge that people can be put off by you. That's really hard to um it's really, really hard to do. And that's what I've been doing this past year. I haven't been putting out a lot of content on YouTube. I'm in my master's program, and it's really just interesting when I see people in the comments saying, well, if she's going to be a therapist, she better do blah, blah, blah. Well, that's funny because I am. And I'm doing literally the things that you're accusing me of not doing. And when I present the things I've done to be better and grow, um, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So um, I have really come to terms with understanding. All right, these are the aspects of my ADHD that I have difficulty controlling. I think there's parts of me that I will never fully get a grasp on. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life apologizing. Um, I appreciate that, Buttercup. I really do. Um, there's just going to be there's going to be parts of me that are always going to rub people the wrong way. Some people encounter me in those modes and love me, think I'm fabulous and just like such a breath of fresh air. And some people encounter me and are like, you make me uncomfortable. And some people will not accept my efforts to make it better. And for those people, I have to accept and acknowledge that I was never going to be for them. Because anyway, I think there's a stink bug in here. When I rub people the wrong way, if I make people uncomfortable, there's a stink bug on me. Could you guys see that? When I make people uncomfortable, it's not like I'm doing it intentionally. It's not like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, how can I make people hate me today? That might be a really good reel. I might have to talk to a friend about that one. I think that's a really funny idea. But that's never my intention, right? That's just part of my neurodivergence. That's part of just my who I am. It's all well intentioned. Oh yeah, Buttercup. Everything sucks. The thing was huge. So you could see it. I just killed one that was in one of my wigs too. So whoops, or not whoops. I'm sorry, buddy. Anyhow, I think that that's what's happened here. I think that, and because it's the internet, there's just people who are not going to ever, they're not going to want to accept that whatever. I'm not going to try and assume what anyone's thinking. So getting to the point, I thought that was all done. People were still picking apart my posts, looking for things for me to say. Oh, Mallory's at it again. Mallory's doing whatever. People who are just going to attack me for having ADHD, basically. Like that's just what it's going to be. And I think that I'm going to have to deal with that if I want to still have a presence on YouTube and Instagram. But what happened in the past couple weeks is that my friends who have nothing to do with any of it, my friends who are just the most honest people in the world, who have stayed out of all of the drama, all of the conflict, supported me, but didn't go public with it because they didn't want to be next. Like literally, when this all started, I had so many people saying, "I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I wish I could say something, but I just don't know what to say where I don't get dragged down." And I was like, "No, don't. Like, it's okay." I won't lie. Part of me was just like, I wish there was one person who could publicly be like, "What is wrong with you?" Right? But that's only one side of me. The other rational side of me was like, "No, you understand that people can't because they're not trying to be next. They're not trying to." I get it. I get it. Um, and so people didn't, and I was okay with that. And then it still happened to them. Like just blatant lies were told about them. And so those people privately sent corrections to the people who said the statements, sent emails and was like, "Hey, you asked for screenshots. Here's the screenshots. Here's proof of here's disproving everything you said. What you said was harmful and hurtful to me, and I would really love it if you would issue a retraction." And they wouldn't. They didn't. They ignored it. And so eventually, a number of us were like, "Are you going to acknowledge the email?" And they refused. And other people said that wasn't proof. And it's reaching this pinnacle now where it's like, what's going to be proof? And what would be enough? Back when this all started with me, and somebody was in my NGL saying like, "You always turn it back to you. You always turn it back to you." Well, that's how I relate to. It's like a scientifically proven thing that neurodivergent people want to show you that they can relate to you by sharing a similar story. And so my example though is that when this started with me in May and April, or May and June, um, people said, we want an apology. And then within the next breath, it was like, "Well, an apology is not going to be enough. So we don't even care if she apologizes." So what was I supposed to do? Right. Um, because even before it all happened, I had apologized. People had admitted, people had admitted that they didn't listen to my voice memos. My voice memos were always like, "Hey, so and so, I just wanted to like send a message, tell you I'm really sorry. I never meant to, yada, yada, yada. I hope we're cool." They publicly admitted they never listened to them. And people still were like, "She's terrible. Can't believe she's a mother. Can't believe she's a teacher. Can't believe she's going to be a therapist." I mean, and somebody recently this week said they couldn't believe I was supporting Jessica Hickson because I'm pro science. And I was like, I am pro science. She's also pro science. Like, there's things are nuanced. Yeah, she made some choices that we don't have to agree with, but she doesn't deserve to be dragged in that way. So, and I know that of the 12 people watching, that there are a couple of you here. I know. I know. Um, I never saw you promoting her misinformation videos. No. So here's the thing. I wasn't. I was not promoting her misinformation videos. What happened was me and Jessica had a little bit of a falling out. She had kind of stayed very neutral through all of the stuff. Didn't comment. She didn't unfollow me. We didn't really talk about it. And then there was a anonymous ghost account that surfaced that she viewed was going to be a bullying account. It turns out it's not a bullying account. It is an accountability account. This person is, and they think it's me. It's the really funny part. Despite all of the ways that she's tried to prove it's not her, they think it's me. They think it's many of us. They think multiple people are. Honestly, if you even look at that account, I'm in a master's program. I have a job and I have children. I have no time to sort through the clear screenshots and proof that she has, right? I don't have the time for that. But there's no telling them anything. Anyhow, getting back to it. So I followed that account when it first popped up, and Jessica was like, "Nope, that's bullying." And she just messaged, she's like, I can't, I'm unfollowing, whatever." And I was like, "Okay. Um, like, cool." So, I, whatchamacallit, I didn't know what Jessica was doing. I didn't know I didn't know she was doing any of it. I hadn't been seeing her videos. I was completely clueless until I started to receive a couple messages like, "Hey, did you see so and so made a YouTube video about Jessica?" And I was like, "Ooh, what? No." So I went and watched it, and I was like, "Ah, shit, what is happening?" So I started kind of like looking around, and I was like, "This is not going to be great." Either way, like either she's going to continue down this road of promoting this and whatever. I'm not here to even talk about that part because what she's gone through, we could sit here and talk about all night the 2 years of hell she's been through. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like yeah, no, there's way too much nuance to her situation. So then another YouTube video came out by a much bigger creator, and it got a much bigger response, I believe. And it was shortly after that that Jessica decided that she was going to resign from making anti-MLM content. And I mean, I saw the comments. I saw the way people were talking about her, and it was very reminiscent of the way people talked about me. Um, and I don't care. I have my entire opinion of how we hold people accountable, and this includes Huns. My entire opinion of how we hold people accountable has completely changed. I really think we're going about it all wrong. I really do. And people are free to disagree with me. Absolutely. I know a lot of people make their money that way. So, hey, Jenny, a lot of people make their money that way. So people are free to disagree with me, but I think we're going about it entirely wrong. So despite what some people say, people are demanding she stop making videos. Yeah, exactly. There were people when she resigned, there were people in her comments saying that she was overreacting. You're overreacting. You don't need to do this. And I just think that when we go in the comments and we tell people how they should feel, we're really overstepping. So my support of Jessica was in her right to not be treated this way, which then, Mallory's inserting herself, whatever. And what are they going to do? Cancel me again? Like, what are you guys going to do? Cancel me again? And so I spoke out for Jessica in the way that people did not feel safe enough to speak out for me. Because I was like, I've been canceled. And I don't like being told what I can and can't do. I don't like being told I can't I can't say this because so and so will do that. And if you say this, then so and so. No. In this exact instance, Jessica needed somebody, and it was more than just one of us. I agree always. And yeah, and people in the comments saying she doesn't deserve to have a platform. She shouldn't have a voice in this movement. Again, exactly, Buttercup. Unless the rhetoric, unless the message that's being delivered by a particular creator is clearly racist, clearly transphobic, clearly damaging, right? Which we can say all day that, selling and promoting worms is dangerous, and sure, okay, but it's not dangerous to a marginalized group. It's not, whatever. I mean, there's so much nuance. It's just not black and white. And then anybody that says that it is, I think you're wrong. Okay. I think you're wrong. But we are free to disagree on that. So anyhow, like I was saying, I just was like, nobody could stand up for me because they didn't want to be next. I'll be next again. I don't care. I do not care. Hate speech is different from misinformation. Yep. I don't care. And so I stood up for Jessica. I spoke about it publicly, and people were like, "Oh, I can't believe we thought you were pro-science." Then it turned into people saying she was racist because the creator that she ultimately resigned after was Black. Apparently, I can't touch that. Apparently, as a white woman, I'm not. Here's the thing. As a white woman, I'm not allowed to say what is and is not racist. I generally stand by that. But all I'm going to say about that statement, you can't tell a human being to endure abuse because the catalyst of the abuse was a person of color. I mean, and I'm not saying that this person abused her. I'm just saying, and I said in all of my videos, the person who made the video about her was well-spoken, tons of excellent research. Her points were dead on. I agreed with like everything she said. Not so much the manner in which she said it, but I agreed with it. I don't I think it's creating a false narrative to say that because somebody disagrees with a person, and if that person happens to be a person of color, then you're racist. I don't think that's I think that's really taking it it's taking it way too far. It's verging on virtue signaling because now what? What? I mean, and if anybody knows me, I will defend people of color, BIPOC, all day for the rest of my life. I will elevate their voices as much as I can, but I just feel like this is the wrong angle, and, I thought we had I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's, again, it's not black and white. I felt really helpless watching the very beginning of when creators started the drama publicly, and it just didn't line up with the big picture. There were a couple of times I've cried. Nana, there's been a lot of tears today. Not from me. I've actually had a great day, but I have a number of friends who have been calling me crying today. People who have blocked them, people who have decided that they don't want to associate with them anymore, and so they blocked them. A lot of tears. Yeah, it's been really rough. I cried over 2 people back in May, June when they left me. One person has since we've reconciled, we're okay. The other one is in the comments deep, completely, believes every single lie about me. So, what am I gonna do, you know? But, if the people that really hate me are watching this, I hope that this is the level of anger you've come to expect from me. I've heard that, you believe I have anger issues. Her I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I guess the one time I went off on my stories about white nationalist Christians is gonna haunt me forever, right? Anyhow, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put my thanks, Nana. I'm gonna put my son to bed. I'm gonna spend time with my husband, but I really felt like I wanted to come on here. I did a similar live on YouTube today, or this is YouTube. I did a similar live. Oh my God, I started this whole thing talking about my weight gain. What I was eventually getting to, my whole point was that the equivalent of all of this would be if I said, I gained weight because of all of you. My weight gain is your fault. It's not. I made those choices. This is how I dealt with my trauma. But I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm not going to say you're the reason I'm fat. I mean, I'm still freaking gorgeous and hot as hell, but like I'm heavier than I would like to be. I don't really feel like buying more clothes, but I'm still unbelievably gorgeous. And if you want to call me conceited, go right ahead. I am absolutely allowed to say that I am a gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, voluptuous 275 Amazon. That's me. Can't wait for y'all to be in your group chats. Call me a fat ass. Love it. Um, I would never blame these people who hate me for my choices to gain weight. And I think that that is like the equivalent of what they're doing. But anyhow, um, thank you so much for being here tonight. All 15 of you, especially if any of the 15 of you are the people who just don't like me. I hope in some way you are experiencing a lot of cognitive dissonance because I have nothing against you. I don't hate you. I don't wish any ill will on you. And I think we need to work together to end this. So I've unblocked most of you. Some of you, I don't feel like we're there yet. I don't feel like what I've seen publicly lends me to believe that you're open for a conversation. But my DMs are wide open. Please, I would love to talk. So if you hate me and you're watching, God bless, universe bless, all of the blessings. And if you're atheist, no blessings. I don't know. All right, guys, I love you all. Have a blessed night or a not blessed night. I don't know. All right, good night.